Okay, so we'll take a few minutes here, just sort of settling in. And this settling process can be really nice to take a little bit of time with it. Use this to set up the intention. Begin the practice how you'd like the practice to go. With intention, with awareness. And as you come into your meditation posture, looking for that balance between being relaxed and alert, relaxing the body, finding a position that feels comfortable, while also keeping enough uprightness or length that you maintain alertness. You don't fall asleep. And just setting things up to give us the best chance of the practice being something that feels nice, that helps to cultivate these qualities of mind we're looking for. And so the practice that I want to lead in this guided meditation is working with challenge, working with difficulty, working with pain, working with sickness, working with overwhelm. And so if you are experiencing some challenge or some difficulty at the moment, you can work directly with that. If you're not experiencing much difficulty right now, you might tune in to more subtle levels of challenge, or you might just be able to do the instructions but with whatever is present for you. Perhaps even with pleasant, enjoyable experiences and sensations. And so the really important thing here is that we want to make sure that we are resourced, that we're within the window of tolerance, or at least that what we're doing is not pushing us further into overwhelm or into disconnection and dissociation. I'll come back to that in a minute. So let's begin by noticing any sounds that you can hear. Orienting to the present moment. Very simple. When I do this, I notice, can hear the sound of the fan, can hear the sound of birds, I can hear ambient sounds from the neighbors, from cars on the street. And just using the sounds to place myself in space and to connect with the present moment. And then bring your attention to the the sensations in your hands. Maybe noticing one hand, then the other, maybe both at the same time. Maybe getting curious about what those sensations feel like right now. Noticing where there's warmth or coolness, pressure, heaviness, tingling, feeling the texture of clothes or skin that's resting against the hands. And notice also the feeling of being supported, being held by the chair, cushion, floor, bed, whatever is holding up your body. Noticing the solidity of that, the stability, constancy of that feeling of being held and supported. Now, for this practice, you're welcome at any point to come back to listening to sounds or to observing the feeling in the hands, the feeling of being supported. Use this as a resource, as a refuge. If at any point you start feeling like the practice is too much, or for whatever reason you feel things are just too much, feel free to come back to that. Or if needed, you can stop meditating and do something else that feels grounding. So I leave it up to you to guide yourself. Follow along where you can, and if needed, return back to something grounding, resourcing. Good. Now, with the focus of this practice being challenge, overwhelm, pain, sickness, the first thing we want to do is just notice what is present for us right now. Step back and get a sense of what is difficult or unpleasant or challenging. Or framed another way, just connect with the present moment experience, whatever it is. Opening to both what is challenging and what is neutral or pleasant. And here, let's actually begin by just taking stock of what's there. Notice where there is difficulty or challenge that's felt in the body at the level of sensations. Notice where that is felt. If you could give it a label, identify it in some way. Notice what that feels like, any qualities of those sensations. Noticing how that is felt in the body. And notice also if there's any pain or difficulty or challenge that's felt more in the mind, more emotional, more connected with the mind, or this felt sense that might seem in addition to the body sensations. Again, just noticing, acknowledging, labeling if that's helpful. And here we can use a process of tracking and separating the different components of the experience to make it more manageable. And so for whatever experience you're having now, look to any emotional reactions or any thoughts that are in reaction. So maybe there's a sensation in the body that's unpleasant. Notice the emotion that comes out of that, and notice any thoughts that derive from that. Commentary on how unpleasant it is, trying to plan how to resolve the pain, thinking about a future where you might not have that pain. And see if it's possible to just identify those thoughts and emotions as reactions. To let them arise and pass. Seeing how those emotions and thoughts are being experienced, but they don't need to be taken as solid. They can be seen as ephemeral, changing. Perhaps even bringing awareness to the thoughts and emotions allows them to be lighter, wispy. Or perhaps bringing attention to the thoughts and emotions makes them louder, bigger. And then simply allowing that to happen. Allowing the thoughts and emotions to swirl without getting caught up in them. Observing with mindful awareness. Good. And the next step of this process is to notice the experience in the body. So whether you're experiencing something pleasant or unpleasant, could be something that you've been going through for a while or something new. Could be something that has a clear physical cause or something that feels more in the mental space. Whatever it is, there will be sensations in the body. Just bring your attention back to the body right now. The key to this next part is to notice the sensations related to this experience with clarity and with equanimity. See if you can observe the sensations in the body like you would observe a bird that you're watching in a tree out the window. Or like you're watching ants building their ant mound. Sit back and watch that experience. And you can do this by looking at the sensations very closely. So firstly, noticing where those sensations occur. And if this is pain or sickness, you might know very clearly where you're feeling that. If it's something more mental or emotional, look through the center of the body in particular. That's usually where those types of sensations occur. Notice any tension or tightness, any heaviness, any lightness. When you know where the sensations are, look at how big or small the area is. What's the shape of the area of those sensations? Is it one small area, one big area, many different areas? Is it concentrated in one spot or diffuse? Is there a center? Or are the sensations spread out evenly? Are the sensations changing in shape, growing or shrinking? Bringing as much sensory clarity as you can to noticing where those sensations are in the body. And then notice the texture or quality of those sensations. Are they solid? Are they prickly? Are the sensations tingly, stabbing? Feel like it's twisting or spiraling? Is there heat or coolness? Does it feel rough or smooth? Perhaps there's a quality of stillness or a quality of vibration. And then notice if the sensations are changing. Is the area, the shape changing? Getting bigger or smaller? Moving in some sense? Is the texture changing? Or is it constant? Is the change happening fast or slow? And then check in again with any thoughts or emotions. Noticing again if there are any reactions that are arising. Could even be thoughts about the meditation. Narrating how this is going. This is not going well, or I'm super good at this. Noticing any feelings around this practice or responses to how the experience is unfolding. And again, bringing clarity and equanimity to whatever is arising in thoughts and emotions. And then in our next experiment, next thing to try, we will encourage more equanimity. One of my favorite ways to practice this is to say yes to any phenomena, any sensation, any experience that is arising. And saying yes is a way to allow, to welcome, to acknowledge. Now, sometimes yes even feels too strong. You might like to use the label instead of fine, okay, yeah. You can find something that works for you, but yes is a good one if that feels available. And just noticing whatever is present and saying yes to it. Saying yes to the discomfort in my leg. saying yes to the sound of the birds. Yes, there is heat and sweat on my forehead. Yes, thinking of having a cold drink, ice water being seen in my mind, saying yes to that thought. Doing what you can to remove any resistance. And if you notice some resistance that you can't say yes to, just say yes to that. Say yes to allow that experience of resistance. The way to peace is not through controlling our experience, through making sure we get all the things we want and don't have all the things we don't want. The way to peace is through letting go. Through the cessation of craving and aversion. If you can say yes deeply enough, what you find is true okayness. A space where there is no lack, no deficiency, where you are whole, where you can handle whatever is there. You might recognize this as an awareness that is untouched, unaffected. It cannot be harmed. And this is the great refuge. That deep okayness. Nice work, everyone. Take a minute here to slowly and gently come out of the meditation.